Hi all and come back. Let's see what is the difference between args and kwargs in Python. So basically you might have seen multiple times these types of arguments with single star and double star. So what they actually mean in Python. Let's discuss. Let's see. Basically you have a function which accept something like, let's say it's some function which actually just prints whatever we are passing to it. So let's say it has positional argument a and b we might pass, and the third argument we might have we don't know how many numbers of argument it's actually going to pass. Some infinite number, or let's say we don't know what is the length of that third argument it might contain. So basically we define them as args. So let me say this one is int, let's say this one is string, and this one we don't know like what could be its length. So we define it as arg, which has some unknown number of arguments, positional arguments going to be passed. So we define it with single star and something like this args, and it's not mandatory. You could name something, anything, something like said bar or anything. Okay, so let's say let's say uh, how it actually uh, looks like. So let's say whatever what this function actually did, it will print whatever you are passing. So let's say printing value of a, mm, let's say value of a. Okay, and similarly I'm passing values of these things as well. That's value of b, that's value of, and let's say the variable number we really don't know the third argument which contain. So let me print the third argument as well. Okay, so you will see whatever I'm passing. Let's say I'm calling this method here, and I'm passing 1 2, and here let's say I'm passing some unknown number of variables. So let me say I can pass some list over here. So let's say 1 2 3 4, or something like, let's say 11 12 13 14, or any number of arguments I'm passing. So let me call it and see if it is passing. Okay, so as you can see, value of a is this, value of this, and here's a print statement args. It should be arg. So as you can see, whenever we whenever we don't know number of how many number of positional arguments are going to pass, we pack them in tuple, and we uh, uh, we denote in function definition. We define it as args, which means unknown number of positional arguments. Okay, so and what is kwarg? Let me show you. If I just add something like this, kwargs. So kwargs means unknown number of or additional keyword arguments. So let's say if I do something like this, if I add, like if I define something, let's say data, and it will contain some unknown and some unknown length of variables. Let's say 11 12 13, let's say 45, let's say 25, something like this, and data 2, let's say it's a quark. So let's say a is 1, it's 1, and b is 2. So we are going to print the values as well. So let me print the values. Let's say for item in args, because it will be evaluated as some tuple or list. It will be unpacked as tuple or list. Okay, so let's say item, and let me iterate over whatever value we're passing for kwargs. Now I will show you how, like, why they are actually behaving like this. So first let me call it and let me show you. So when we are calling, when we are as you can see in function definition, they are defined as additional positional argument, and this one is this one is called as positional keyword argument. So what does mean by keyword argument? So keyword argument, something like this. The value, they have a key value pair basically. So A has having a value of 1, B is having a value 2, and they all is passing as a argument. So let me pass, let's say data, let me call it as data2, and let me print, let me call this function, and we will see what happened. Okay, so something went wrong. Okay, so yeah, what went wrong? Because we already defined positional argument A, so we cannot pack it into this dictionary. So let's define something else. Let's say C and D. Okay, so now as you can see, value of A is this 1, 2. They are defined. We know that A will be a single value of type integer. B will be having a single value. Let's say it's a string, but because there is a no strip type checking, I have defined it string, but I can pass it as anything. So there is, because Python don't follow the strict type checking rule. So as you can see, and the third thing is item. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 25, it has unpacked. And as you can see in kwargs, so it has keyword arguments as something like C is corresponding value 1, D is corresponding value 2. So what happens basically with the magic behind this kwarg and args and kwargs basically. So whenever you call any tuple or list with with single star, it will pack into a dictionary. It will unpack as a list or dictionary. Similarly, with the double star, you are packing a dictionary, and on the time of execution, it get unpacked. So this is what actually kwargs and args. And order, this is very important. You have to pay very good attention. The order follows something like this. Already defined positional argument will come first, and then additional positional arguments, and then additional keyword arguments. You cannot change the order the way they are called, the way they are defining. So they have priority, something like this. So the order of priority, like how we call them, is something like this. Defined positional argument comes first, then additional positional arguments comes, and then additional keyword arguments. So this is the format. This is the rule we have to follow. Let's see, what if I mess up with this function calling. Let's say if I call positional keyword argument before additional positional argument. So as you can see, interpreter itself is saying this format is positional argument cannot appear after keyword argument. It's unpacking. So by default it is my linter is showing error. Let me run it and we actually see what kind of error we will get. So as you can see, a triable argument unpack following keyword argument unpacking. So this is by default is a rule we have to follow in Python. So yeah, I hope you have learned something here in this video. Follow more for this. I hope you have learned something. Please follow more for these types of videos. Thank you.